Big as the devil here, Sal, no.
Hello. Oh, Cora.
We are now here.
Yay!
May I say, I appear I'm on mute. I can't hear. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, because we're on mute because the meeting hasn't started. We're broadcasting live.
Yeah, no, I can. Thanks, Rich.
Chris Davis, Richard Church, and Nick Howells, and also William Rowell. Would you please turn your cameras on? Thank you, Bill.
He just wanted to do a different scene. Look at it. Where is he? Are you in Mephigisty or somewhere, Bill?
Nick's on.
Sydney, that is.
Oh, is it?
Richard.
Yeah.
Chris
You
Davis.
can see my brother's house if you look really hard. You need a
Really?
telescope though.
It's 6:30. You can stand.
Yeah. I was just waiting for Chris Davis to turn it on.
Oh, here's David.
Eh?
Here's David, thanks.
Oh, David's on there, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of the Operation and Development Committee, the 11th of February, 6:30 in the chamber. Any apologies for absence?
Just Ben Hochmeier.
Okay, thank you. Declaration of interest and dispensations, there's none that I'm aware of. Any here in the chamber in the meeting? Anybody online? No? Okay, thank you. Public participation to receive members of the public, and we haven't got any here at the moment, but they might come in a bit.
Well, you've got one
We've
online.
got one online, Chair.
You got Thomas Membry.
Sorry?
You got Mr. Membry online.
Oh. I do apologise, Mr. Memory.
That's fine.
I haven't got him online.
No, he's hiding behind your picture.
He's hiding behind the picture. Oh, is that there, is it? Okay, thank you. To members of the public to address this meeting in respect of any item of business included in the agenda. No resolutions may be made under this item and should relate only to matters of council policy or practice and not individual affairs of the questioner or any other named person. Okay, we'll go on to item 4, minutes and matters arising. And that is Appendix B. Minutes of the last meeting. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. And page 5. Any matters arising on page 1? Sally?
Supposed to accept this, Chair?
I got a proposal to accept the minutes. Is there a seconder?
Second it, Phil.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Nick.
Okay, thank you, Nick. Thank you. Okay, we've got the proposal and seconded for the minutes. All in favour, please show.
Hands up.
That's unanimous of the meeting. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Matters arising, are there any matters?
Just to say, Chair, that your recommendation in relation to the name for the TIC went to full council and was rejected. So it's back on your agenda this evening.
Which one was that?
The Tourist Information Centre name was
Oh,
rejected. Your recommendation in respect of the Mott and Bailey went to full council and was rejected as well. The rest of the items were either approved or varied. The one around the higher charges in particular was varied at full council in private session.
mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, item 5, land and buildings. Is that yours? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's Richard.
I put one as the.
Phil is here, Phil Rollison is here this evening, folks, in the absence on holiday of Paul. So Phil, I'll hand over to you.
Okay, we'll start off with the playgrounds. The new equipment has been installed at Dre. Infants play. We had to take the fence down in between the two separate playgrounds there to allow the install. Because this with the help of the tractor, which was saved us a lot of time and effort. We've been advised to keep the fencing up around the new apparatus for 2 weeks because when they installed it, it was really wet. The ground was sodden, so to allow the concrete to set properly. So that fencing is still up, due to come down early next week. It was, to be fair, it was done ahead of time so that we could get the proper funding available to us. And it looks really good, to be honest. On a personal note, I think it'll be enjoyed by a lot of the younger children.
Good.
On the next one, the playgrounds, Wicksteed, who we're going to repair the big swing up at the Burgess Lands, the rotator swing. They did want to come last Thursday/Friday, but the weather was torrential. So we sort of said they're going to make a mess and it'd be very hard to do their job. So they've been postponed until the weather improves. But so they'll contact us when they have an available slot. That's pretty much it on the playgrounds. Obviously, the weather's not been the best, so everything's sodden. All the grounds are, so we've not been able to do a lot on them really. But there we are. Moisture Ray, the rugby club car park, on the request of the rugby club, was cleared of all our brush cuttings that we've sort of assembled over the last two and a half years. It actually amounted to 12.5 tons that we had to tip at Potters. And once again, without the tractor, we'd probably still be there now trying to clear that. We literally did it in on and off over about 4 to 5 days, a couple of hours at a time, and we'll be spare. So yeah, that's all cleared. The rugby club are very happy with it, and it's created a lot more parking spaces down there. Because you know, it can get quite busy down there when there's football, rugby, and various junior games on. So that's a good one. With the buildings, the annual health and safety visit has been completed. I believe Richard's seen the reports for those, or they'll be forthcoming.
Yeah. We've got them. We'll organise a health and safety committee meeting and discuss them.
Okay, thank you.
Town hall wise, there was 2 new cupboards now because we assembled another one yesterday for the hub. So they've got more storage in the kitchen now. The oven in the kitchen, the company called Swift that did the work at the day centre, they came and did a service on the cooker, stroke oven. It needs, quite luckily, just one neon light on the front to show that it is actually on. Bearing in mind this oven probably hasn't been used for 15 years, I would have thought. Now the cost is, you might think a lot for a neon light, but without it, no one's going to know that it's on, and they might well put their hands on it and stuff like that. So it's something we have to get addressed, which we've had permission to do, and I've informed them of that, and they will be coming to do it as soon as they can organise a slot. So that will be done. As far as the bottom of the market, the doors on the back of the market, we've had to install a lock to allow access to the fridges for the community fridge, freezer, assembling all the shelves and stuff for that. Like I say, we fitted the locks, so now it's just got a single key to gain entry to that area, which we put up a lock safe on the back of the town hall as well, so that the volunteers can access it to bring food and take the food away that is out of date. So that's been done. What else we got? Up at the day centre, there was a floor plate in the kitchen that was covering wires that needed replacing because that had come loose. So I made a stainless steel plate and drilled that into the floor, so it's nice and secure and safe for people working there. The sliding doors annual service has been done there and at the Tourist Information Centre. Xmas, the Christmas lights have come down on the street, and they're now stored in what used to be the old motorbike shop in the Motte and Bailey. And pretty much that's it really from us. Obviously we're trying to work hard on the football pitches and such, but the ground is that sodden that we really can't get the machinery on there to do a lot. We can do our best and try and aerate the puddles and stuff on the pitches, make them available to play. But a lot of games have been called off lately, and it's not just us, it's throughout the whole of the county, to be honest. So we're just waiting for some nicer weather to come.
Yeah.
That's about it for me on those.
Well, I see it's Richard's fault that we've had all this rain lately, so do we leave it with him? Is that it?
That is it, yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bill.
Everybody happy? Any questions?
Hands up.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Nick, yeah?
Just to go back to, for information for the committee, to go back to the oven in the kitchen. We were a little bit concerned about not being able, got the potato problem. For the last 3 years, Meals on Wheels have baked our potatoes for the hub. And I picked them up and bring them back to the town hall. And this was sprung on us a little bit quickly yesterday that, the turnover was next week. But I had a very amicable conversation with Laura Greatrix Hares last night and explained the situation. And she is more than happy to carry on as we have been until we are ready to start using our own oven. So thank you to Laura.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Okay. Sally?
No, I'm okay.
So,
I just want to say good work on those doors, lads. It's absolutely brilliant. So much easier for me to come in and out of. It's
So you
really
got
good.
keys on.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
You don't have to go through 3 doors now, do you?
No, and like fall over in the workshop
Yeah.
and stuff like I have done. It's just, yeah.
No, it was very enterprising. They
Yeah,
manufactured all sorts of plates and bolts to stop from, because they open both ways.
yeah.
yeah.
Good job.
But no,
Fantastic
it's
job.
brilliant. So it's
Yeah,
so
good.
clean.
Combination. Paul was the locksmith on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And I did the
Brilliant.
other bits of furniture on the door. So team effort.
Yeah, good fun.
Okay. Thank you. 8, 5.2 is the Tourist Information Centre naming.
Well, it's like deja vu, isn't it?
I like what you've done here though.
So you had this last time, and you were discussing different ideas for names. What I basically need from you is the name of the building, and then we'll look at the signage afterwards. But at the last meeting, it kind of was made apparent that you were getting confused between the signage and the name. So I just decided to put some mock-ups of the signage on the agenda to see, so you could not get confused and make a decision once and for all. But there we are.
Sally?
I really like the second one, Welshpool Information Centre. It says it all. Doesn't it?
Sorry.
It says Welshpool Information Centre, so you can go in there and find anything out about Welshpool, which is what the building does. So anybody can go in there, not just a tourist, can't they? I quite like the Welshpool Information Centre, but that's just my opinion.
So last meeting, I think the committee recommended Welshpool Town Council and Tourist Information
Yes,
Centre,
bit of a
which is a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
It's over to you to decide something more. You can recommend the same thing again if you want, but I don't know if it would have, might just go round and round in houses.
It's not gonna get through now, is it? Because I put it up. No, it's not gonna happen. Sally?
Here's one here, Welshpool Town Council Information Centre and Offices.
Slightly longer than the last one.
But it says it all on the box, doesn't it, on the front? I don't see why they're arguing about it really, it's just a bit silly.
The reason this is, the council have got lots of things to discuss, but this in particular is only before you because the survey we did in the summer, 111 people said Tourist Information Centre, and 111 people said Welshpool Information Centre.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, we can't really take anything forward. We need you to make a decision as representatives of
But
what.
do we need to state that our offices are there as well? Does that need to go in the title?
It's up to you. I don't. It might not necessarily need to go in the title, but you've talked about before about being on the sign, and that's why you've got mock-ups at Appendix C of the sign with our logo, with the name of the building as well.
And that for a second one. You see it?
I personally still think that Welshpool Town Council
It's a
and the Information Centre, it was the best. That's the name.
Welshpool Town.
You just want the information. It's the
So
West
information.
Information Centre. If they want information about the town council officers, they can provide that information, can't they? Yeah.
It's just behind us all. Isn't it? I just don't see what the big issue is on there. I really don't. What do you
Phil
think, Nick?
Owens.
Or Phil Owen?
Phil? You're on mute, I think.
Can't hear you.
You're on mute.
No,
But it's not showing you're on mute.
Well, he's not coming through.
I know.
Nick's got a question as well.
Phil,
Well, Phil sorts his IT. Do you want to go to Nick and then we'll come back to Phil?
yeah, okay, we'll come back to you, Phil, if you can get yourself online. Chris Davis.
Yeah, can you hear me, Chair?
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I really don't see why we're going anywhere near this. I don't think if something's not broken, don't fix it. Well, Tourist Information Centre, especially with the fact so many in Wales have closed down. We're only one of just a few left, basically, in Wales with a Tourist Information Centre. When the canal opens, there's going to be a lot of people visiting that tourist information centre. And we can have tourist information centre, council and public toilets. It's as easy as that. I don't see why we're going all the way around the bushel to find an outcome for this. It's always been a tourist information centre since for a long time.
Well,
There's no reason to change it.
It was renamed, wasn't it, to Visitor Information Centre some years ago.
Yeah.
This is, as I said to you, the reason it's here, and it's the most trivial thing, is because the survey we did was split. That's why we need some sort of decision.
Sally.
I've just had a thought of somebody else who is on our team.
Sorry?
Our ops managers just messaged me and said, what about Welshpool Town Council in the middle, information centre one side, offices on the other. So you've got Welshpool in the middle, this is what he's just suggested, and then Town Council that side and Welshpool Information that side, just all on one side. So basically that makes sense actually.
Yeah, well,
So that there in the middle,
yeah, no,
Welshpool Town Council here,
sure.
offices, and then
But you've already got Welshpool Town Council in the middle.
yeah. So it would be like that in the middle.
But that's our logo.
Yeah, just the logo.
So just what?
Just
so
the
just the
logo
crest?
and that then, yeah. It's just
So what's
keep
on the
it
paper?
nice and simple.
The difficulty is I don't need you to make a decision on the sign.
No, just the
you,
wording
you
of
don't
what
need to
we're
make a
calling
decision on
it.
the sign. We'll make the decision on the sign. I just need to know the name of it, so I don't put the wrong name on the sign.
I think it should be Welshpool Information Centre, personally, because that covers everything in Welshpool. We should know what's going on in the town, shouldn't we?
And so did 111 people agree with you.
Yeah, and I actually think that says it all in the tin, really.
Yeah.
But my opinion, Paul's opinion, so.
You got Nick, Bill,
Nick Howells and Bill, I got.
and Dave.
Andy was on there. Dave, can you put your camera on, please? Nick Howells?
I'm just going to say I agree pretty much both with Chris Davis and Sal, to be honest. One, it's been known as the TIC for decades, and if we need to change it, I agree with Sal. Welshpool Information Centre, fine. If you want to know where the town council is, you go in the information centre and say, where's the town council offices? And somebody says, here.
Yeah.
I said this last week when I got a bit frustrated, but I don't know why we're spending so much time on this.
No,
I think you.
Because it was a very split issue in the survey. That's the reason I spent it.
Okay, Bill Rowell?
Yeah, I think I don't entirely disagree with that, but Welshpool Town Council Information Centre, that would equally do it. I think in terms of a letterhead, and that's what we're thinking of first of all, a name for the place, Welshpool Town Council Information Centre would do the trick. If we want something on the on a sign, then Welshpool Town Council in smaller letters over the top, Information Centre in big letters would basically say it. But I agree with others. I mean, we just really want to settle on something and get it done.
Okay, thank you. David France?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the feeling from the town, my reading online comments at least, seems to be something short and for us not to spend too long arguing about it. So I'd be happy to second Councillor Fitzgerald's proposal for Welshpool Information Centre if it indeed was a proposal. And then, like we've said, the sign can say, you know, offices, etc., at the discretion of the clerk and other officers.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Bill Owen, you back online?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have no particularly strong views on this. I thought just something like Welshpool Information Centre incorporating the logo of the town council
And I agree with what Nick says. I mean, we don't have to flag up the fact that that building is the town council offices. Most people know it is, and if they don't, a quick inquiry at the information centre will put them right.
We don't get particularly many visitors anyway.
No.
People get most of their stuff from
Right.
us. Sometimes.
Yeah.
As in to the town council. We get lots to the TIC, but not to the town council.
Right, so we've got one proposal
Let's
on,
do that a proper proposal. Propose that we go for the second one on next.
right, Sally, can you spell it out again, please?
Right, so we are going for Welshpool Town Council logo.
No, I need you to pick the name, not the
Oh,
school.
Welshpool Information Centre, let's do that.
That's all I need.
Welshpool Information Centre, and that's seconded by Nick, is it?
I'll second that.
Or
Yeah,
Oh, David
Okay.
to begin with.
any other proposal, any amendments?
Go for it.
Okay, supporting that, please show.
Hands up.
The
Hands
mayor,
up.
Nichols,
David said yes.
yeah,
Sally.
Yay.
Okay, that's that passed.
Done, councillors.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, remember you need to go to full council now.
okay. Morton Bailey. Should we give an update on the Morton Bailey if required?
Just to say that we're still waiting to hear back from the grant proposal that we did before Christmas. I had an email from them this week saying that they've had an overwhelming number of applications across Wales and that they're still sifting through them. Nothing to give you an update yet.
Ah, right. Okay. Motion grant permissions for works, item 5.4.
Yeah, so you've got a letter here from Waterloo Rovers asking for our permission to install a floodlights, and it's no longer a 100-seater stand, it's now a 67-seater stand. 67 or 68? 63. And I've got a photo here as well, a mock-up, which you can see, but Sally can see it as well. I'll share the screen so everyone can see it at home. So. Yeah, and they're just
Everybody
asking,
see it at home?
they're, the thing that it's not in our gift to give it, but as landowner, you need to give your consent first, and then they'll go and get Powys County Council planning permission. There's no guarantee that they'll get that because we know there's been issues previously with the floodlights and the fact it's in the corner of the thing and the road is next to it, and will that satisfy them, etc. But they do need these requirements, I think, to move up a league.
Yeah.
You'll also see in the correspondence that said the other stipulation that the applicant must have is a minimum of 10-year security of tenure on the ground. Currently, Waterloo Rovers operate on a licence basis, so they don't currently have any security of tenure. So we would need to look at that with them. So we'll have to bring that back to a next meeting around some sort of lease for them, in line with the other clubs on my story that do have leases. That would give them the security of tenure they need to get the grants that they want to put this in for.
Can I just ask your advice? We always had a situation where if any clubs applied to build anything on the recreation fields, we have a clause in the lease that says if they go out of business or go away and whatever, that building belongs to the council thereafter.
Well, it looks like the building they're asking for the seater stand looks like it's movable. So that would
That's
be
not the point. Yeah,
that
that
wouldn't be
never
our
has
issue.
been the point. It's always a case that any buildings put on the recreation grounds are thereafter belong to the town council, and that will be part of the lease. If you'll
Well,
check it out.
We'll explore a lease next time. This is about planning permission or just our consent for them to apply for that permission for floodlights and a movable seater stand.
Okay, strictly towards the two things, Sally.
I propose that we work with the club on this, Rich.
Yeah.
I think it's good for the youth and it's good for the club too, so let's support it.
Yeah. Can I
I don't
say
know,
I
have you
hope
got
we all will support it,
Have you got
because
any
we will, I think we will get some problems, they will get some problems in putting floodlights so close to the bypass.
Well, that's.
And if that
we
happens,
can support
I
them
think we
through
should
it.
support the club.
Yes,
strongly,
absolutely.
yeah. Bill,
I've been a member of that club, played for them, supported them for a long time. I know these floodlights have been in the plans for a long time, but due to new technology, they can now have these floodlights close to the bypass, whereas before it wasn't really an available option. And like Sally said, it's great for the youth. And added bonus of having evening games will obviously help with the wear and tear on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
Alleviates a lot of stress for the club, trying to get the fixtures right and everything like that with clashes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fully behind it and support the club fully, and anything we can do to help them, I think we should.
Well, what has already been said is they can't go up another league or to the Premier League unless they've got floodlights. So we've got to, I mean, we've got to be seen to support the club, our clubs anyway. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Nick has got.
Yeah, me.
Nick?
Yeah, I fully agree. We need to support all the sports clubs as much as we can. And I want to just speak on behalf of the rugby club, who I've been right from when I started on the council, when I used to chair the Properties and Services Committee, and when I was the mayor, etc., etc., had numerous meetings with the rugby club talking about taking on a 99-year lease so they could get grants to move the rugby club. You walk in and it's like walking into the 1970s. It's totally disabled unfriendly. There are no disabled access as such. There's very, very limited facilities for women and children. And as we all know, ladies' rugby is now a big thing. Children's rugby is a big thing. And they desperately, desperately need to drag that club into the 21st century. And we need to get their lease sorted out so they can move forward for the town and its population. Thank you.
That's something to do with the rugby club lease. Can we arrange to put that on the next meeting, Nick, agenda? Because we're talking about a request from Waterloo Rovers on this one.
Yeah, sorry, Phil, I shouldn't have gone off piste, but
I don't think you need to. We had meetings this week with the rugby club to progress the issue. So
you have.
I met with them Monday.
Oh, it'll come back to a committee then soon, Nick, obviously.
sorry, I didn't know that. I'm not included anymore.
Neither did I. I'm only the chairman. Thank you very much. Okay, so we leave that one settled on.
I propose that we support them. Do you
support the Waterloo Rovers request. Yeah. Everybody in favour?
You need a second.
For that. I've got Nick as a seconder. And Chris Davis's hand. I think it's his hand.
Chris can't second. He's not a member of the committee.
Okay, that's fast. Okay. Flower bed transfers. Item 5.5. Mr. Clark.
Yeah, so you have my report at Appendix E. Very briefly, we've had quite a lot of correspondence in the last few months about the flower beds in front of the NFU. People thinking that we own them, etc. We don't. They are currently being maintained in a very informal and voluntary basis by individuals in the community, and community groups such as U3A or Rotary have expressed a clear willingness to adopt and maintain flower beds in the town centre. As some of you might know, when the new bus station or area was redeveloped, the town council entered into an agreement with Powys that we would take on responsibility for some flower beds there. I'm not sure how that ever came to the council, but technically we are responsible. I don't think it did. We, however, are pretty much responsible, and they're looked after by Rotary for us. But the issue is there's no written agreements about anything at the moment. This is why we need to tighten things up. So the proposal before you is that we request Powys to transfer the ownership of the 2 flower beds out of the NFU to us, and then we transfer them then to the groups who are interested. The groups are still interested in taking them on, which means that we wouldn't be getting involved in it. We don't need to commit our staff to do it. It'll be done by them. And then if those groups weren't to exist, then of course we express an interest out to other groups to do it. There's no thing that's saying that we would take it over. We would seek to use the volunteers, because there are groups around the town who want to do this, and we should be enablers to let them do it. So my recommendation was to approve the request to transfer the ownership and get a licensing thing in place and seek some expressions of interest. And you've got powers to do this.
Sally?
Suppose that we accept Richard's recommendation.
Well,
Takes it off
Yeah.
the lads.
Let me say I'm not happy with it. I believe we should tell county council they can talk to these people and pass it on to them, rather than us get involved in it. I've seen these problems before, but.
I just come in, Chair, but that's the thing. We look after Welshpool, so let's do it. So we're passing all this
Well,
stuff on
there's
left,
that
right, and
point,
centre. We're Welshpool Town Council, so let us do something about it. That's all I think. Sorry.
You know,
Sorry to go
we've
against you,
had
Chair.
quite a lot of correspondence in the last, month or so since Tour de France has been announced it's coming here. A lot of correspondence saying you need to make sure the town looks nice.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is by owning these assets, not just relying on Pascal to do it for us.
Yeah. Sorry, Chair.
But you're right. It's a political decision for you. Where do you want the assets to lie? Do you want them to sit with a regional authority, or do you want them to sit with you as a local? As the most local authority that exists. And again, it's a decision for you.
But I've got the proposal from Sally. Somebody to second it, please. Is Mr. Mayor seconding?
No, I was just going to make a point before we take a vote, and that is, it has been mentioned already to some extent, but we're going to have a lot more planting in the town in advance of the Tour de France. Some of that is going to be permanent. It will stay in the town afterwards. We're going to have the same problem with that as we currently have with the flower beds outside NFU. I would be in favour of the council acquiring ownership of those and possibly any other planting that we do in conjunction with Paris in the run-up to the Tour de France. We do need to find some way of maintaining it. We either do that ourselves. I know that the Rotary Club are very keen to be involved. Bill probably wants to say something about that. But yes, we need to take control over those things because they're important to the town visually, to the street scene, and everything else. So we do need to control them, even if we don't actually do the maintaining ourselves.
Yeah. Anybody else? Bill Rowell.
Yeah, I absolutely support what Sally is saying. I can't second it, sadly, because I'm not a member of this committee, but I fully support it. I mean, we're always moaning about the fact that people down in Landod and beyond don't have an idea about what we need and what we should be doing. So the last thing we want is not to take on responsibility for our own street scene as fully as we possibly can.
Yeah, okay. Nick Howells.
Yeah, I would like to go back, Chair, to about, you will remember, definitely, when I started up a thing called Welshpool Ground Force.
Yeah.
And we used to meet up on one Sunday morning a month and take on a project. The biggest one we did some flower beds, but the biggest one we did was in Poundland Car Park, over to the left by their loading bay. There's 3 disabled spaces which were dreadfully overgrown, and Powys County Council had not touched them for years. And myself and a group of volunteers cleared all that and got no thanks from Powys County Council, obviously. But it was surprising how quickly the enthusiasm fell away. The first couple of visits were great. We did these things, but yeah, I think people get a little bit fed up with doing stuff that they feel that the county council should be doing. I mean, what next? Do we get volunteers with buckets of tarmac to fill in potholes?
You do with them.
But yeah, I think we pay our council taxes, and some people do get a bit frustrated if they're being asked to volunteer to maintain stuff which Powys County Council should be maintaining. Thank you.
I think the beauty with this one is that we're not coordinating or asking the volunteers to do it. We're simply seeking expressions of interest from other groups who are already established, who already have a good volunteer base. So, their staff, we're entering into a license with them.
Why can't county council do that?
They can, but Sally's made the point that we should do it instead.
We are Welshpool Town Council.
Can I just ask the clerk a word now? If, for instance, we did that, and all of a sudden that organisation decided, they don't want to do it anymore, does that rest back on us
It would, but we just,
Or
we-
can we just turn around to the county council and say, take it back?
well, it depends how you structure it, but if a group that we entered into agreement with and they decided to cease, then we'd open it up to other groups to also express an interest, and then if that was exhausted, then we'd have to explore options around sending
Yeah.
it back
Well,
or doing it
I'd like to
differently.
think that in any such agreement, we would have a clause that if we've done this, that and the other, so and so, whatever. But if there comes a point where we prefer to give it back to the county council, we can do. That's what I'd like to see in there. Cause we always get stuck with these things.
It's important to note actually that county council might just refuse our request in the first place. There's no guarantee they'll say yes, so.
Exactly, yeah. So, but they might wanna, well, you know, they may wanna put a new toilet block there or something, you never know. Bill Rowell.
Yeah, I think Richard Church is wanting to speak actually before me.
County councillor.
At least I thought Richard Church wanted to speak.
I would quite like to speak, yes. I'm not a member of the committee, but I just wanted to say a few words. Is that okay?
Yeah.
No.
Richard wants to speak, Bill, is that okay?
Richard, is it?
Yes, please. Can I say a few words?
Yes, I wish you'd put your camera on and then I can see you when you
My
want to.
camera is on. Well, as far as I can see, it's on.
I got you know, yeah.
But anyway, the point I just wanted to say that I spent some time over the last couple of years doing some maintenance to the flower beds outside the NFU and Roland's Chemists, and you know it's a difficult job, particularly in the summer, and they really do need a thorough going over. They need digging out the perennial weeds in there. And I think it's much easier for the town council to coordinate on a local level to get volunteers to do things like this than it is for the county council, who are operating obviously more remotely. And that's why I think it's sensible for us to take it on. We shouldn't enter into any commitment to maintain them if volunteers can't be found. But while we do have volunteers, I think it's much easier for us to have the working relationship with them than it is for the county council. Once the whole thing is set up and running, once they're dug over, perennial weeds are removed, and they're planted nicely, it really won't be a lot of work. It's just setting it up and getting it running that will take a little while. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, we know it's patently obvious that the county council is not going to maintain flower beds. So any suggestion that they might is just totally fanciful. So if we did take them on and they weren't maintained, we're in no worse state than we are at the moment. If we do take them on and they are maintained and we can coordinate that with local voluntary groups, that's brilliant. And there may, if there are different groups such as U3A and Rotary, there'll be a little bit of competition between them as to who's best, and the end result of that can only be good for the town.
Okay, Nick Howells.
I would also suggest that we have liaised with Richard Turner Titch many times. He coordinates the community service group, and possibly if we needed, they have helped with the allotments, and possibly if needed, they could possibly help with the flower beds.
Yeah, we currently use them every week for Mott Bailey, so we use them all the time anyway.
Yeah. Okay, well, I've got a proposal from Sally. Who seconded that? Did somebody second it?
I think, did David France second it?
Sorry, would somebody second Sally's proposal? Nick Howells. Yeah, that's seconded. Those in favour, please show.
Hands up.
Hands up.
1, 2, 4, 5. There's 5 anyway, so that's passed. Okay, thank you, folks. I've got an item here, 5.5 Town Hall Wi-Fi quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, appendix F. So, we have investigated, well, basically, the Wi-Fi in the market is just not up to scratch. And it means to the point where market traders can't take,
Going mental.
yeah, market traders can't take card payments, etc. You know, we can't do what we want to down there. So, we've asked our IT providers, Link Technology, to put together a quote. It is £864. The difficulty is there's no defined budget for this in town hall or markets. But I'm sure we can shuffle something around to find the money for it. But basically, this would be a new mesh-based wireless access point. And actually, the operations team are doing a bit of the work in terms of cabling, which keeps the price down.
So, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Bill is our cabling expert, so Bill's doing some work on cabling, but that keeps the cost down. But this should future-proof us to the point where we get to the point in whatever happens in the town hall transformation, that then there's more permanent Wi-Fi. I won't have that, but you know that the transformation is not going to happen overnight, and we need this now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm quite happy to propose that one. Sally, you coming?
I just going to ask Rich, is this just a one-off fee to do the work?
Yeah, this is just the access points.
For the equipment and the installation.
Yeah, we already pay them £16 a month to maintain our other access points anyway, so it wouldn't be an increase in that.
I just have a quick question then. If they provide the service and we pay that service to them already, why is it costing us that?
Because this is for equipment. This is how much three wireless access points cost.
What? Can I just ask that?
So it is 3 U6 mesh wireless access points, and they're strategically located. Can't remember the map off the top of my head, but yeah, Phil, do you?
Yeah, so basically, if you look in the assembly room, the big white box which is on the wall by the main doors going in,
Yeah.
that's the antenna to spread the Wi-Fi throughout the market, and that needs line of sight.
Right.
So there would be one put by the entrance to the market off the high street.
Yeah.
On those windows.
Yeah.
That wall somewhere.
Yeah.
And then one on the wall where the windows are, where Catherine's store, the toy store is. So they face into the corner towards the top box.
Right.
And our car park.
Yeah.
And that way you get coverage throughout the whole of the bottom market.
Right.
And I believe we'll be putting one in the corn exchange as well to improve that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
But if we're providing this, we are paying for a service.
How do you mean?
Right, so we already pay these people for the internet. Yeah.
No, we don't.
New equipment, you're getting 3 of those aerials, that's what you're paying for. And the connection of those with the wires that myself will pay.
I'm probably being a bit blonde here because I don't understand all this, but surely when you go onto a new internet provider at
No,
home.
we're not changing providers.
No, this is what I'm trying to say. So if we've got a new internet provider at home, they provide you with everything you need for that
They give you one box, don't they?
Yeah.
If you need extra boxes, you have to pay for extra boxes.
Right, that makes sense.
We're paying for the extra boxes.
Yeah, I was just thinking, why is it going to cost us that much if we already have our internet off them?
No.
Surely shouldn't they provide the equipment?
There's one behind my seat here. The issue is that at the moment in the market, we're currently using basically stuff for your home.
Yeah.
And the market is sort of such an age.
From like 20 years ago.
Yeah, and the market is at such an age, and the walls are so thick.
Right.
We need a proper solution. They're £288 each, so for 3 it's £864.
Okay, so this will be a one-off thing. We won't need to do it again, but it gets us better coverage and people will be happier in the rooms where they're at for. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Phil Owen. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I was going to propose that we accept the quote and instruct them to go ahead and do it. But I think you already proposed that yourself, Phil. If that's so, I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah. All those in favour?
Hands up.
Hands up.
That's carried. Yeah.
Sorry for sounding blonde then, guys, but.
Sorry.
No, we need to have all the questions asked before you make.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure it out. Sorry.
6.1, Meals on Wheels. Who's dealing with that?
Just an update from the usual report. So in January they did 470 meals in January, which is slightly lower because the first week of January they didn't do the Haven meals because it was snowing on the 9th of January. Welshpool came to a standstill. Income was roughly where it usually is. You can see 71% by Meals on Wheels, 29% in-house. And you'll get one more report for February and then.
Okay, all happy with that? Any questions?
Happy to answer any questions.
No, eh?
Happy to answer any questions if you've got them.
Okay. 6.2, the markets, and that's appendix H.
Yeah, so we've just decided to include every month or so, I think it's changed to every other month now, we have a meeting of all the market traders, and I just thought it'd be good if you had the notes of it as well, so you can see what's being discussed. Honestly, Pinewood hoarding, of course, is one that's always been discussed, but as you can now see, the Pinewood hoarding has been removed. Bylaws consultation, well, that's on our agenda this evening. A few things were raised about first aid boxes and fire marshal training, and that's all been sorted out. And then there was an update from Aggie about the community fridge, and the next meeting is in February. Just to say, in terms of markets, we've actually had one extra trader now outside. A couple of weeks ago, we did a big push. A couple of the team went to Newtown, handed out some leaflets to the market traders to get them to come to Welshpool Market. So we've gained one more outside, which is better than the two we had. So I'll take that 50% improvement. She was here on Monday selling candles, and every stall in the market hall, besides the shelves, is full. And at the moment, we're currently clearing out the middle of the market to make space for even more stalls, which I know you discussed in your meeting last week about Welshpool Fair Trade. So yeah, the market's going very well at the moment.
Yep. Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
Hands up.
Any questions?
Yeah, hands up.
Yeah, go on, Nick.
I must say that the bit that Richard just mentioned about the middle of the market being cleared out to allow for a few pop-up stalls is not going down at all with the present market traders. I'm told not discussed with them, they were just told it was being done, and they are not happy.
I have to stop you. I don't think that is true at all.
I'm just saying what I've been told, Town Clerk, that's all.
Yeah, I know, Nick, but I think you're getting information from them, which is one-sided. Happy to discuss this in private session so we can really flesh out if you want to, but that is not the situation at all.
No, I've just seen what I was told, that's all. No more.
The middle of the market has always been earmarked for stalls, and because we haven't had that number of stalls, over the last few years, it's naturally become a seating area, not for the public, but for the traders themselves. I would much rather the traders be sat behind their stalls selling things as opposed to sitting in the middle.
Yeah.
However, we are at now the need where we need to put additional stalls in because we're facing the demand. It is a market stall from a market hall. The stalls used to be in the middle. We've now got the demand. It makes perfect sense that we start to put stalls in the middle. However, yes, it has faced some hostility, but it is the difficulty is, yeah, we'd rather work, we're working with people, but sometimes we need to make a decision as the market authority, and council has made a very clear decision that it wants more stalls, so we have to follow that instruction.
I would reiterate, Town Clerk, I was only passing on what I was.
I appreciate that, Nick. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that the public listening to the meeting also knew that that wasn't the actual one priority. It wasn't against you, Nick. I'm just making sure that the public understood that.
Okay, Bill Rowell.
Yeah, just on a slightly different matter, because I know we have thoughts about the possibility of having an ATM within the market. And I didn't realise until I went in the other day that there is now an ATM inside the banking hub. Not outside, but there is one inside. So when the banking hub's open, it is possible for people to use that.
Yep. Okay. Okay, thank you. 6.3, the hub. Appendix G, Appendix I. Yeah.
Usual report. So we for January saw visitors increase significantly throughout the month. I'm sure Nick will be able to add to this one. But we saw 60 in the first week to over 100 in the subsequent weeks. That includes the Tuesday and the Thursday sessions together. Thursday's definitely the most popular, with more than 70 on multiple weeks. Food costs remain very efficient and well within the donations received, usually on most days. We had 432 visits in a single month, so very well relied on by the community. And we had a one-off donation of £100 from Compass Community Care. So donations totaling for that period were £308, which is roughly £102 per week. And the amount standing in the hub bank account as the 31st of December was £3,204.16.
Any question?
Which, considering we started with absolutely nothing, is pretty good, really.
Very, very
It's
good.
amazing, yeah. An amazing
I
job.
also just add, and Bill will back me up on this. Last week we broke the record.
Yeah.
First time last Thursday we had 90 plus visitors. For one,
That's a tremendous result, that is. Right. Okay.
big Bill and Morag and all those who helped.
Can you make a note of it in minutes, yeah?
Well, and you'll see that in your March meeting as well in the February report.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you, Nick. Item 7, business planning and financial matters. 7.1 is interim strategic plan, action plan.
Yeah, the usual action plan of where we're getting to with our actions on the strategic plan. As you can see, we're now delayed on one of them, which is MA2. Improve signage to markets from car parks, train station and main areas. The difficulty with this one is that we need to replace the sign on the bridge of the railway station, and getting the consents to do that has been quite challenging. The sign is particularly bad. When I mean bad, I mean it is so blurry. It's such an awful resolution, and it's the as soon as you walk up the ramp from the station, it's the first thing you see, and you think, oh no, what is this sign? Anyway, we're trying to get that changed at the moment. The other things are either in progress or ongoing or progressing. Everything in year 1 is being taken care of. Year 2, of course, starts in April, so we seem to be on track. The other one we're still battling with is the footfall counters for the toilets. The ones we had were officially fun, weren't they, Phil? Yeah, they counted the light as it turned on and off, so it's not great. So they went back. We're just exploring other options.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, I think one of the most important things, if not the most important thing on here, is the place plan. We've been talking about this for a long time now, at least 2 years. It's vitally important. We're always complaining that our planning decisions in council are not being heeded by the county council. There has already been a lot of development in the town, which, had we had a place plan in place, might have improved our chances of having our voice heard on some of those matters. We know that Paris County Council have a number of other projects in the pipeline, and until we've got that place plan in situ, we will have no say at all, because they don't listen to our views. The place plan will be a game changer. It'll make a huge difference, and we need to have that. I would like to see it expedited. We need to allocate resources to it, and we need to move on with consultation and getting some sort of draft plan in order. So I would really recommend that we give priority to it and at least allocate a budget to it.
The difficulty is this committee is not responsible for that, so it shouldn't actually be on the paper in front of you. However, there is money in the budget next year to start the process. We just need to wait till April to start it. As you know, we've discussed before then, but it depends. We need to find out what Paris is doing in terms of replacement LVP, because there's no point in us doing a place plan around the current one. It's going to be ending in a few years' time. So we need to catch Paris about whether our LVP process is, and then build the plan around our LVP as opposed to the current LVP.
Yeah.
I believe that events and planning talked about this last week, and from next month it will be a standing agenda item from next month. So you'll be able to keep up with the progress, because it's that committee that's responsible, not us.
Okay. Any others? No. Okay, 7.2 budget and committee finance.
It's just your usual financial spending of the month. Things to highlight. We have had now all of the half year, so the second half of the year water bills, which were pleasant. We are still feeling the effects of our leak at the TIC toilets, so that bill is particularly high. In terms of grant, we've now members will be aware that the Burgess Lands Trust approved the Objective 1 monies. to offset the repairs and maintenance that was spent on the town hall, the propping and the temporary toilet work. So we've had the first check there for 9,500. So you can see that in there. We've also had the third instalment of the telephone mast rental payment from Cornerstone. Anything else? We've had our usual market stall income. We've had the bill for the new playground, which Phil mentioned earlier. That's probably all I'd highlight to you. But happy to answer any questions, Chair.
Yeah, any questions, folks? No?
In terms of the committee, it's according to this figure, it has spent more than it was budgeted for. However, it has received 34,000 more than it anticipated in income. So it's a relative offset.
Yeah.
You're spending more, but you've had more in.
We're bringing it in, yeah. Okay, thank you. Item 8, projects and new developments. Community fridge.
Yeah, this is a verbal update. So just to say that the community fridge was officially opened on Monday evening by Bill. A few members of the committee were here as well, and were there as well. It was a lovely event. And today it went into operation for the real. This morning the fridge saved 5.4 kilograms of food waste going in landfill, which is, it's already starting to make an impact. So it's now open. It kind of follows Sally's opening hours because that's when the door is open.
I've just put a comment on that.
Oh, let me just.
Yeah, you carry on.
So we've started up. So we've got 3 partners at the moment. We've got around 4 or 5. Actually, we might have 6 volunteers now. We're signing up volunteers daily at the moment for it. We're currently working with Starbucks, Costa, and Sam in the market is also keen to work with us in terms of the food waste.
And Greg, exactly.
Yeah, okay, and great, that's great. So we've got more business on go as well. At the moment, it's very hard to say what impact it is, but everything is open this week. But you'll have updates of this every month. We'll go from there. But
okay, Nick.
Can I just say to give, well, Aggie's not on the meeting, obviously, but to give her a bit of support. When I started the hub in October 2022, it took us at least really 3 months for the word to get round, and it was all over social media, etc. But the best publicity is word of mouth, and it took us 3 months until we really started getting substantial people coming into the hub, and it's grown and grown and grown ever since. And I really hope that the community fridge will be the same.
Yep, indeed. Mr. Mayor?
I think Bill was before me, Phil.
Sorry?
I think Bill was before
No,
me.
No, I wasn't. I've only just put my hand up.
Oh, okay. Just to say that having discussed it with Aggie, some of the supermarkets who do participate in these sort of schemes, currently most of the stuff is going to Newtown because they are proven to be effective and they're using it. But she is going to be liaising with Newtown and with Tesco's and I think Morrison's, and possibly we will, once the fridge is established, then we will be able to do some sort of deal where some of that will come to us from the supermarkets. So, but I think they want to see how it's going to run first and what the demand is likely to be.
Yeah, we've got nowhere with Morrison's, and the line from Morrison's at the moment is that they have no food waste at all. They only order exactly what they've got, and they've got it down well. And they do the too good to go bags, which of course gets them income. And we are working with Tesco and Newtown Food Surplus who can get Welshpool to divert that to our fridge, as you said.
Okay, Bill Rowell?
Yeah, my comment on the Morrison's one is pull the other one. They tried the same thing with Newtown, and it's not actually true, but you just have to keep on at them, I think. Just to report that Aggie gave a very good presentation on the community fridge to the Rotary Club today, and we will play our part in whatever way we can in terms of supporting the project.
Okay. Nick?
Just briefly, as Bill and yourself, Bill, and that will know, it was very nice to see that there were representatives of the Newtown Food Surplus who turned up for the opening of our community fridge, and they are eager to work with us, which I think is great.
Yeah. Sally?
Just a quick one from me. I was talking to Richard Church this morning, and we seem to think that the food that's coming into the freezer, because you can't actually see what it is unless you open it. So it needs to be labelled and itinerary about what you've got in there. Because Richard actually said, well, we don't actually know what that is until you look inside. It's got a label on it, we can't see.
That only applies to the pastries from Starbucks.
Yeah.
So we've looked at a solution today, and I spoke to Aggie before.
Yeah.
We've now got we're gonna put a label on the bag of what's in the bag and with the allergen information.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
other stuff from Starbucks is good because it comes pre-wrapped, so
Yeah.
you can see it through that anyway.
That's it.
The alternative is that we start using our own plastic bags to put them in, but then how is that safe? Because plastic,
But then
we're
you go
reducing
to
plastic
yeah.
again. So we want to keep with the bags that we get as well. But we're looking at the labelling. We are still also waiting our food hygiene rating as well. They could just turn up at any time. So, but Aggie's got the Safe for Business, the pack. Nick will know what I mean by the pack. It's
safer food, better business.
And it's sitting on the shelf ready for when they come. Yeah. And I have to say thanks to Aggie for all her hard work on the project.
Indeed.
And just one more thing, because your opening times are similar to what I'm doing down there. There is times where I don't stay till that time. So I'm just letting you know that they are subject to change from me.
No.
So just so you guys know that.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Bill's for his own.
Sorry?
And David.
No, is he? No. Luke's hand up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bill.
my hand is up only to direct you to the fact that Dave Francis got his hand up.
Dave Francis.
Eh?
Dave Francis.
Dave Francis.
Is Dave Francis got his hand up? David? You got your hand up.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Chair. Yes, my question was going to be on our liaison with the supermarkets. I'm glad to hear that we are engaging there, or rather that Aggie is engaging there. So yes, plenty of kudos towards how well she's done so far in getting this off the ground. And we already have a lot of momentum. But I think, as Nick said, we will only gather more as time goes on. So another feather in our hat, string on our bow, etc., etc.
Okay, thank you. 8.3, Alford Estate. Have you heard this one, Lord?
You missed town hall transformation.
Oh, sorry, town hall transformation, yeah.
Just to give you an update, so at the last meeting, you had a written report from me saying that the next meeting was going to be on the 9th. The community meeting was going to be on the 9th, but of course the 9th was Welshpool Snow Day, so that was moved to the 23rd of January. I know, Phil, that you were there, and we had members of the public there at the community meeting. Our consultants talked through some of the plans, of the concept plans for the building. So the plans that have been drawn up aren't actually the final plans, they're just ideas of what could be in the building. People get confused though and run off with the ideas that are on there. Other than that, the transformation project board has been meeting more regularly. Met last Friday, it's meeting this Friday as well. Currently working through the project strand work. So as part of the lottery bid, we have to prove to the lottery how will it involve the community in other projects outside of the town hall. So we've had quite a lot of great ideas so far in terms of a local history project, commissioning a play with Montgomery Street Youth Theatre in terms of playing around what court cases happen in the courtroom. There is funding available for probably sports clubs. So we're just working through those, and you'll get a report every month as you usually do. Happy to answer any questions on behalf of the board.
Any questions? Nope. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Nick House.
It's a question. It's just to say that I've discussed this over the last couple of years that the courtroom is absolutely fantastic as a visitor attraction. But I think also if we had like a Welshpool trail, which included the Victorian toilets in the town hall, because I went down there with Paul one day looking for something and was amazed that all the Victorian tiles and everything else are all in place, and the cellars and all that. I think it'd be a really selling point for a tourism trail in Welshpool.
Thank you, Nick. We'll you are one of the liaison councillors on the tourism project, so I'm sure we'll discuss it in more detail. And we do, I don't think we hire it out. We do let some private tours go down to the cellar. The difficulty with the cellars are it's a bit of a health and safety.
Sorry, Luke, I didn't know that.
So they've done a tour. Something definitely in my time I've been here. There's been at least one, and they explore the basement, and it's not a nice place to be in the basement. It's pretty spooky. But each to their own. I think it was a ghost hunting tour actually, wasn't it?
We used to all go down there and go to the toilet.
The Victorian toilets are an interesting attraction, to be honest.
Yeah.
We'll have to hold a meeting down there to see how we fare in the dark.
Actually, a live
Mr. Mayor.
Facebook.
Yes, the development group has actually discussed in some detail the idea of having a town tour which starts at the town hall and includes it with electronic hot points, so you can listen on your phone to a history of the buildings you're looking at and everything else, which will, I think, be an asset for tourism in the town, and it's something that is actively being considered and I think will happen.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and to add to the courtroom, look, the courtroom is a gem that is very underutilized at the moment. I personally would love to see, A-level students studying law and stuff, having some mock trials in there. It's a functioning courtroom that probably many people in the town have probably never been in.
That's right.
And we need to, being in a naughty capacity. We need to think about how, as part of the transformation work, that space gets opened up for the public. Because Judges' Lodgings in Prestige does very well being a living courtroom. So it's one that the board is currently considering.
Something to look forward to in the future, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Where am I now?
Alford.
Alford Estate.
We are meeting with representatives of Clwyd Allen on Monday morning at 11:30, aren't we, Phil?
Yes, we are.
And also Clwyd Allen will be presenting to you all at the next full council meeting about the history of Alford, play provision, and things like that. So you'll have a presentation at the next full council meeting as well.
Would you like me to sit on that with you, Chair?
Can you speak into that?
Do you want me to come to that meeting with you? It's my ward too, isn't it? So if you want me to be there, I can be.
I'm good. No, she's vice chair of the committee. Join us, yeah, indeed. Yeah. Okay.
Whoever's
It's my ward, so
available.
I'd like
That's
to be
fine.
on board with that.
And we're having an initial meeting with them to say where our position is, what their position is.
When was that, Rich? Monday at what time?
Monday 11:30
11:30.
at the Scouts pitch.
Oh, right, okay. Okay,
Because that's the start of the negotiations.
okay.
Okay. Item 9, bylaws consultation.
As you'll all remember, back in, when was it? September, you looked at approving a consultation in accordance with the Local Government Bylaws Wales Act 2012. And we published our initial written statements on 3 sets of bylaws. That consultation ran from 20th of October to the 12th of January and was promoted on social media, press releases, website, etc. It was in the County Times and my Welshpool. We had 14 responses. We'd only had 1 until we did the final push, so that definitely helped. You can see the responses in the report. I can go through it if you want me to, but there was strong levels of support with the current open spaces bylaws. The one significant concern that came up was around the ban on balloon releases because of the memorial event that happened with Holly last year in terms of balloons. However, so I would suggest that you look at how we can accommodate that while also balancing out the environmental aspects of balloon releases, etc. in any draft. The second set was the market bylaws, so that was quite a strong response. As you remember, the market bylaws that we need because at the moment we have no way to control the outdoor market spaces on a Monday because powers say they won't do it because it's been delegated to us, but we have no mechanism to do that currently. And the public toilets was the last set, which received the strongest level of support because it was around addressing vandalism and taking action where the police won't. So in detail, that was the main ones. So the recommendation before you this evening is to note the outcome and to authorise me to prepare the second written statements for the 3 sets of bylaws and prepare the drafts, taking into account the consultation feedback. However, this is just a recommendation for you to full council. You don't have the power to do that. It has to be full council that decides the next step. So if you've got the consultation finding in front of you, I'll answer any questions.
Do we need a vote on that?
Yeah, to recommend to go to council.
I propose we accept the recommendation.
Nick,
Seconded.
Sly seconded. All in favour?
Hands up.
That's carried. Yeah. You. Okay, to note, ladies and gentlemen, the next meeting of the committee is on the 11th of March at 6:30 p.m. And we now are going to go into confidential session. So any members of the public, oh, sorry, Sally,
Propose that we go into confidential.
proposed, yeah. Is there a seconder for confidential session?
Second.
Nick Howells, yeah. So, all in favour, we're all in favour, yeah?
Yeah.